Thank you, Ryan. That was beautiful. Reminds us of old times, doesn't it?
Right.
Yes, it does. Good morning, Unity of Music City. It's so good to see the people who are in the sanctuary, and we welcome you all at home. We know you are all here, and we are all here by divine appointment. And we are filled with Thanksgiving this morning and this month. And the top of our list is to welcome Deb Bishop, who will not only bless us with her lesson, but also in song. So thank you for being here, Deb. And let's stand and sing our first song together. We are blessed to have one another, a chosen family, together we stand. We are blessed to be sister and brother. We are blessed. We are blessed. Where two or more are gathered, there's a sweet spirit here. Where two or more are gathered, glory places we are blessed to have one another, a chosen family, together we stand. We are blessed to be sister and brother. We are blessed. We are blessed. A light to those around us. We bring joy when we sing. We feel God's love surround us. We give thanks for everything. We are blessed to have one another, a chosen family, together we stand. We are blessed to be sister and brother. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, those of you at home. We love you. We miss you. And we thank Spirit for our connection and technology so that we can still see at least part of us. This morning we have announcements. They're short and sweet. The Lunch Bunch is still meeting at 11:30 on Wednesdays. We're reading the book Braiding Sweetgrass. And it's written by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And Karen Burr is kind of the facilitator of that. She does an excellent job, by the way. And we're enjoying this book so much. It's going to take us forever to get through it because we read something, we stop and we talk about it, and it just flourishes in the conversation. So if you're thinking about it and want to join us, don't say, oh, well, it's too late to get involved, because it isn't. So we'd love to have you. Please join us 11:30 on Wednesdays. And if you need more information about that link to connect, Karen Burr, contact her, and she'll be glad to include you in the Zooming that we're doing. Also, town hall meeting December the 13th. Following the service, you can watch it from Zoom, or you can attend. You can be here. We'd love to have you present. It's very safe here where you see us with no mask up here, but that's because it's hard to sing through cloth. So, but we are practicing safe distancing and also wearing our masks. So please join if you feel safe to do that. On a little less light note, I would like to make an announcement that our realtor that we were working with, Terry Rutherford, has made her transition. And we just reach out and to all of you at home and here to let's remember her in our prayers, her family, and send out some light and love to that because we know that's a hard thing. So we just wanted to inform the congregation of that and also to let you know that more information is coming about the future of, what next for the property and the church and that sort of thing. It'll be coming out from leadership, so be looking at your emails and also look to the Tuesday newsletter that comes out from the office. Thank you.
I'm so glad that we are here.
I'm so glad that we are here.
I feel the Spirit ever near.
Feel the Spirit ever near.
We are friends and family.
We are friends and family.
Sing praises joyfully.
Singing praises joyfully.
We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. We give thanks for everything.
We give thanks for everything.
Countless blessings Spirit brings.
Countless blessings Spirit brings.
Celebrate our unity
Celebrate our unity
as we live in harmony.
as we live in harmony.
We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. We are blessed. We are thankful. All is well and life is good. All is well and life is good. All is well and life is good. Our affirmation today is, in the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. Would you say that with me, please? In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. If I hold on to feelings of hurt, betrayal, or action, or anger in response to another person's words or actions, I block my own flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace.
Your body, and allowing now for the vision of peace, just a simple vision of peace, whatever that feels like, whatever it means to you, letting that flow with effortless ease through every cell, every molecule of your being, and let it settle in your mind's eye to where it literally becomes a place, a frequency, a light that you can bathe in as you breathe the divine silence, and peace of this moment. Feeling peace, deep healing, and deep release. Just breathe and sit with that. Deep healing and deep peace. Deep healing and deep peace. And feeling and embracing that deep healing and deep peace. With great gratitude now, feeling the soles of your feet on the ground, feeling the weight of your legs, the weight of your body, your arms, your fingers, your hands. Feeling the presence of this moment in this time and space as you gently allow yourself to float back into this place, into this time, into this moment, feeling released, peaceful, and healed. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are.
transition. Hey everybody, I am Rev Deb Bishop, and I am very excited to be here and spending this time with you. And I wanted to start the talk today, which is all about creating the life that you would choose for yourself in this time. You know, I talked with dear Amy prior to coming in today and asking what the theme for the month was, and it was all about sort of being in the world but of the world, which is an interesting theme to explore because there's a lot to be said about being in the world but not of the world. And I've talked to a few people about the fact that I was going to speak on this today, and they're all like, huh? How do you do that? And I said, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, and it's truly, truly not. And one of the biggest things that we have to learn to do in this life, it's an ongoing lesson, and that is the lesson of what it means if we're really going to create the life we would choose, if we really want to be in this world but not be caught up in being of this world, then we also have to learn the art of letting go. And so if y'all don't mind, we're going to make this a little bit of a musical service because I wanted to kind of bring us into the idea of letting go by singing a song by that exact same title. So excuse my back. All right. Never let it be said I don't have regret. This life has had its ups and downs, and I won't deny, so you can rely. With every step I take, I try to leave behind hallowed ground. A few, haven't you? I hope they forgive me in time. Pure innocence broken into before I ever knew my own mind. But everybody comes from somewhere, grows up doing everything that they're told. Everybody comes from somewhere, and it's time to break the mold. No more bite, no more soul. No, I'm freeing my soul. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Someday there might be some good left by me, and someone might say I knew her well. As long as I stay true in my way, that'll be a life, well, that'll be a life well spent. Letting myself heal, letting myself feel, picking up the pieces and carrying on. A little wiser, a little lighter, going, 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 gone. But everybody comes from somewhere, mold, no more bite, no more soul. No, I'm freeing my soul. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Letting go the pain, the shame, the jealousy, the guilt, the blame, the envy. Set my soul free. I'm letting go. So I guess you could call the topic of this really what it means, at least the first phase when it comes to creating reality. Is this buzzing or is this, should I grab the other mic? Am I okay? Think anybody bothered by the, was I in the field? Oh, I was in the field. So the first phase of really creating life the way that we would want it to be is exactly that phase of letting go. And that's exactly where that song came from for me as well, is this idea of, we think we know things, right? We can all agree. We think we know things. Sometimes we think we have it all figured out. And we go out into the world, ready to take it on. And yes, this is the way it all works. And somehow we trip and we fall down and we go, but wait a minute. That's the way it was supposed to work. I know, I was told, I listened to this speaker, or I read that book, or that's what my mom told me, or whatever. That's what my teachers gave me. This is what I've learned and how the world functions, and this is what everybody represents to me. So how can this not be true? And the reality is that it's true, but only so far as in everybody's experience is their experience. And whatever they've taught you, whatever they're teaching you, whatever they want to tell you, is just their own intimate experience with how they have gone through their life and also what they have been told. So is there really truth in that? Is there really knowledge in any of it? Yes, we know not to run across the street in front of a car. We know not to put our hand on a burning flame. And those who have heard me speak before, I reference those things because those are valuable things that we've learned. And those are universal truths I think we can all agree to in the respect that it's painful and could cost us our lives, and that's not necessarily what we want to be doing. But aside from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, truth is truly a speculation. It is our experience, and it's what we choose to believe that actually allows us to either create or to live in a life where we are literally just reacting to what's happening around us. And so when we realize, when we're on the ground kind of looking up for the 50th time, because sometimes it takes that, at least for me, and we go, but wait a minute, I thought I understood how this works. That's when the humbleness and the perfection of letting go starts to take over. Because when you can let go of all you think you know, and when you can let go of the anger and the angst and the guilt and the pain and the shame, how fitting was the message earlier today that this is what we're talking about. And no, it was not planned, other than in divine intention. When we can truly let these things go away from us and find a space where we can have forgiveness, where we can be at peace within ourselves, then, and only then, are we able to truly begin to understand what it might be like to possibly be able to create the world that we would choose to live in. Being in the world, not of the world. Being of the world is that burden of carrying around the pain, the shame, the guilt, the blame, and thinking that we have to have it all figured out. The reality is we don't have to have it all figured out. We could never have it all figured out. A year ago, who would have thought that we would have had 2020 unfold the way that it has? No matter how many ways we would have figured out what could have possibly happened, I don't think any of us would have said, hey, you know what? Sometime in 2020, anytime you go out, everybody's going to be wearing a face mask and it's going to be normal. Yeah, I don't think so. It was not in my frame of reference. So probably not in yours either. So the point to that is, quite simply, we will never have it all figured out. So let's stop trying to be 15 steps ahead of ourselves, because all that really means is we're not present. We're not here, and we're not in the moment. We're entirely preoccupied with what we think might happen based on the ideas of what we think we're supposed to know and who we think we're supposed to be, which leaves us in probably a really frightening space. Because if we go, but wait a minute, if I let go of all of those things, including the pain that sometimes fuels us, right? Our anger and our angst can fuel us. Our guilt can drive us to things, right? And they're not all bad by any stretch. Sometimes people get very motivated. However, that source of motivation is false, because at the end of it is always this idea that we don't believe and we're not deserving. So therefore, how can we be motivated by being guilty or feeling shame or blame? And yet so many people carry this around, so they are of the world when they do that. They're here and they're living a scattered and reactive life. And you can see it. You can see it in the people who walk just kind of hunched over and looking down, and it's almost as if the light has gone out in their eyes. And when we can let go of all of that, the scary thing is, and where most people get uncomfortable, and I know for me personally it was a very difficult journey. I mean, hey, I'm human too. And that is the idea that I don't really know then who I am. If I let all of this stuff go, then where does that leave me? And that's the definitive question. How to be in the world as you are, this beautiful divine being, this beautiful human being. Who do I choose to be? That's the question I'd rather hear everybody ask, because that's the one we're actually in charge of. We're not in charge of anything else. So guys, here's the news. We are not in charge of absolutely anything or anyone else. The only thing we're in charge of is ourselves, our own thoughts, our own expressions, our own ability to love, our own ability to forgive, our own compassion, our own ability to heal. That's the only thing we're in charge of. Or we can go in the other direction. And if we go in the other direction and we get angry and angst and carry the pain, the shame, the guilt, the blame, then happiness is at best a scrap, kind of laying on the floor, hopefully you get to find at some point. It does not become the flavor of your life. And the fear that's in the world, I think we can all agree there is fear in the world today. There's anxiety in the world today. And if you get into the world and of that fear and that anxiety, then you can become one of the many voices that is speaking about, the fear and the anxiousness about where we are going and what's going to happen, and oh my goodness, what's going to happen next, and how bad that's going to be and how awful that's going to be. And what I suggest to all of us is the next time you're around anybody saying that, and especially if it's yourself, put your fingers in your ears and go, la, 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 love, 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 love. Seriously. Learn how to recognize that within yourself. Learn how to recognize that within others. And if you need to, take a step back. Because the truth is, the next step in understanding, letting go, and then being in the nothing, and not knowing really who you are, the next choice in understanding how to create is to decide, who am I choosing to be? And if that's the case, you have to step back. It's your requirement. And you require asking yourselves as well, is what I'm saying, is what I'm feeling, is what I'm thinking about, truly, truly taking me down the road that I want to journey down? Is it truly taking me and taking this world as I would choose to see it into the place where I would choose to see it? And if the answer to that is no, then the only choice we have is to go, okay, how can I do this differently? How can I reframe? How can I shift? How can I change to become that voice that speaks that truth into the universe? Because when I speak that truth, it goes out into the ethers and it comes back and it reflects back to me. It reflects back to each and every one of you, the expectation. The truth of what you're thinking and feeling comes back to you, and it comes manifest in your life. And so the reality is that other people around you could be suffering, and it's not that you're going, well, that's just too bad for you. It's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is acknowledging and sending compassion to their suffering, but not having to be one that suffers with them, because you cannot help anybody if you are also suffering with them. So when you can lift yourself out and be that beacon of light and help and hope and peace and healing for those around you that are suffering, now they have the opportunity to be lifted up by that reflection. And that's the best that we can hope for. To be that reflection in the world and to let the world shine back to us that beauty and that wholeness and that healing and that peace. So when we do that, then everything around us starts to align in that direction, and everyone around us starts to align in that direction, whether they recognize it or not, whether truly they want to or not. And if they really don't want to, they'll exit. And that can be hard too, right? When people leave your life because you are choosing a specific path and you are taking a stand for it. And sometimes it's mind-boggling when you go, but wait a minute, I'm taking a stand for love and for compassion and for healing and for abundance on this earth at this time. I'm taking a stand for this. What do you mean that you don't want to be my friend anymore? But it happens. Because some people are so caught in being of this world and being in the pain and the shame and the blame and the guilt and the anger and the pointing of fingers that they themselves, they can't align with you. Because in order for them to do so, they would have to do that same thing. They'd have to let go and be in the nothing and go, who am I? Who do I choose to be? So think about that for just a second, everybody. If you would, just close your eyes for me for a second and just sit for a moment with the idea of who do I choose to be and how that feels. And you might have lots of things rushing around in your mind, and that's okay. It's just watch them like a movie screen kind of going by and just be with that. Who do I choose to be? And just feel in your body how good that feels, or how strange that feels, or how odd that feels. Or possibly in areas of your body where maybe it doesn't feel so good. Just observe. Who do I choose to be? And as you're settling with that and setting with that, just understand if you feel uneasy, it's just because there's parts of you that don't really want to be seen. So they're kind of trying to push back into the shadows. That's the uneasiness. There's a greatness in you that may not feel like it's worthy enough to shine. So that can feel a little uncomfortable. And all of that's okay. Just settle into the idea of who do I choose to be? And you can open your eyes when you're ready and just see how that feels for you. And realize that, yeah, there are bits and pieces and places and spaces within our own divine universe, our own sacred universe, within this physical body that we have chosen to be in at this time. There are places and spaces within you that are truly fighting against this idea of having choice, of being different. Because being different at this cellular level to our beautiful bodies who have done their best, our anatomic nervous system and our brain, that firing all this message and energy into the brain all the time, has done its best to protect us from what it believes to be true about what is safe and what is not safe. And what if so much of what it believes to be true and so much of what is on autopilot is not true at all? But rather it's a survival reaction to things we've been told or experiences that we've had. And now our nervous system is simply reacting as if this is how life is. And what if that's the only thing that is really feeling uncomfortable? When you stop and ask yourself that most incredible question of who do I choose to be? Because if it is the only thing, the best news is we can actually do something about that. We can actually get to know that part of ourselves. And I'm not saying get angry at it. I'm not saying banish it to the closet that it's lived in for most of its life. I'm not saying that it's an enemy. Our critic is not an enemy. Our critic is our divine protector, believe it or not. It has worked diligently to try to keep us safe in the world that it believes to be true. The difference in this now is that you are in charge. If you're going to be the creator, if you're going to be in this world, but not of this world, you are in charge. You are a creator. So therefore, you take that beautiful critic and you offer it love and forgiveness and acceptance. And you welcome it into your world and back into your life. And you listen to what it has to say. And I will tell you, it will not be pleasant. It may say things to you where you're just like, whoa, I didn't know I spoke that language. And it just is what it is. But the minute that it does not upset you and enrage you and force you to go, get away from me, and you're stupid, and the minute you start to just love, forgive, and accept it, and the minute it's safe for it to just say what it needs to say, everything changes. And suddenly this critic that has felt like the enemy, that has told you all sorts of unspeakable things that you may never think you would ever say to anybody else, all of a sudden it becomes an ally. Because it has the love it has always craved. It has the acceptance it has always hungered for. And it has the forgiveness, that divine, beautiful reality of forgiving and letting go. So it can also grow with you as opposed to opposing you. And that's when we are truly, truly free. Because we choose what's safe. We choose what our story is, what we choose to tell. We choose to truly take ownership of who we are being and of the creation that we would choose to see on the planet at this time. And that is a truly beautiful thing. And when you are that beacon, when you are that light, which is a continual work in progress, and there are times when you're just going to be shifting your energy minute to second, and it's going to be like, this is hard work. And it is, no question. But eventually, the more that you do this, and the more that you choose, and the more that you're conscious about it, and the more that you move towards those things that feel good to you, that truly feel good to you, with harm to none, that just feel so good to you, the more that that becomes the habit, the more that that becomes the pattern, the more that that becomes the truth that you're expressing, and you're holding that light and that love and that healing, not only for yourself now, but for everyone else around you that is struggling, and for everyone else around you that is in pain. And you can have compassion, and you can have forgiveness and love and acceptance, and you don't have to take it on or take it in, because you now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that just like you, everyone around you, everyone out there, everyone on the world today, in the world today, on the world today, around the world today, everyone has this same choice of who do I choose to be. So who do you choose to be? What's the world that you would like to see? And I know the conversation can get to like, well, but who am I? I'm just one person. And there's all this crazy on up there. There's just all this crazy. There's all this stuff. Who am I? And my darlings, you are absolutely magnificent, whole, incredible, awesome, energetic creators. You are divine beings. You are spirits living in human form. You are human beings. Rise to be the best human being that you can possibly be. That'll meet your spiritual being exactly where it is, and that gives you the infusion to be the creators that you are meant to be, that we are all born to be. We're all here for this time, this space, with all this crazy going on for a reason. We're all here for a reason. We all have a calling. It's all in our hearts. We all know it. Some of us wake up in the middle of the night knowing it and not know what to do about it. And that's just proof that it's there. It's the calling. And what do we do about it? We go into the nothing with ourselves, right? We let go. and we ask, who do I choose to be? So when you look at what would I really like for my life, it is no longer, but who am I to have that? To quote a famous, who are you not to? Who are you not to have that? Why is it that you cannot have the highest, most beautiful life that you can imagine for yourself? Is there anybody truly in your life that could stop you from that? It might feel like that. I'm here to give you some really good news, though. No one in your life, no one can stop you from being the most sacred and divine version of yourself that is absolutely possible. And I think that's really good news. Which means we have the freedom, you have the freedom, to truly decide who you choose to be, the world you choose to live in, the future that you choose to see, the peace that you choose to hold in your heart, the love, the forgiveness, the compassion that you choose to have for others. This is your menu of life. Open it up and feast. Have an amazing time. Because now is the time. This is it. This is what we got. Right here, right now. So who do you choose to be? And with your permission and holding that thought, I would like to bring to conclusion this talk with a particular song which hopefully will inspire us all. And it is called Change the World. Oh, you know, it ain't been easy. Sometimes I feel it's too damn hard. But I just keep on going, looking to the light of a bright and shining star. Well, I can hear it calling me from just over that next hill. So I guess I best get going, 'cause if I don't get going, I might not ever will. And who am I to think that I could change the world? Who am I? A simple, ordinary girl. Who am I to dare to dream I really can? But this is it. This is everything I am. And yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can change the world. Change the world. I can change the world. Oh, you know it won't be easy. Sometimes it's gonna feel just too damn hard. But you just keep right on going. Look to the light of a bright and shining star. Oh, can't you hear it calling you from just over that next hill? So I guess I best get going, 'cause if you don't get going, you might not ever will. Who are you to think that you could change the world? Who are you to dare to make your dreams come true? Who are you? Oh, to wish upon a star. But this is it. This is everything you are. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can change the world. Change the world. You can change the world. can change the world. Who are we to think that we could change the world? Who are we? Just simple boys and girls. Thank you. So everybody go forth, change the world. Peace, love.
Well, I know one thing for certain. I know who I want to be, and I know that I definitely want to change the world. I believe you can change the world with something as simple as a smile and a hello to your buddy in the grocery store or wherever you happen to be in the world today. If you guys will say with me the offering, tithes, and authoring affirmation. A little tongue-tied this morning. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease so that I may be able to give back to the world around me. And of course, as we know, those tithes and offerings come back to us heaped up, pressed down, and shaken together and running over, for that's the law, and so it is. Shall we say?
The light of God surrounds us. Love of God enfolds us. Power of God protects us.
The presence of God
Watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are love, joy, and peace. Everything else we release. We are love, joy, and peace. This is our gift to the world. We are love, joy, and peace. Everything else we release. We are love, joy, and peace. This is our gift to the world.